Alrighty, we'll give a moment or two for the microphone to kick in. I know sometimes the level adjusts. This is going to be video 692. I'm broadcasting here from, or making the video rather, from my room as opposed to up the nose in the living room. But uh, this video is going to be somewhat about integration. Um, I was, I've got a side project I'm doing right now. I am comparing um, doing a bit of a research project on the tarot cards and not trying to sway anyone one way or the other with the occult or anything like that. I was interested. I was curious. Where did tarot cards come from? How did they come to be? How did they gain the notoriety that they have? And people, how do they create one? But also the kind of like each card, what does each card generally mean, and then if there a theme or a general vibe to a card, and comparing different decks and people's explanation of those decks. And in my mind, my opinion, the cliche, a picture is worth 1,000 words. If you see an image and it as a piece of art, as I think art should do, provokes a reaction out of you, whether good or bad or an emotion. A piece of art, a good piece of art, good art, brings this emotion out of you. And so, you might feel a certain way, I might feel, depending on what we bring to it, our reaction, And so I think in many ways, that's my opinion of what tarot cards do. You see a certain image and it provokes a response from you. And you could go a little, and take that to another level. You could say that you're tapping into the, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, the Akashic records. Sorry, Akashic. I'm sorry. Um, the collective unconsciousness of the human experience. Akashic records. I know. I'm sorry. I'm butchering it. I've never heard it pronounced. Actually, I've only read about it. But you're tapping into the sum experience of humanity. If you take it on that level, or you're looking at a picture and I see a teapot and you see a golden retriever. We different. We bring stuff to the table and then we see different things and we reflect or whatnot. But sorry, this is quite a build-up. What I'm interested in is, and how this relates to the channel is, from what I've learned so far, the major arcana, which are I believe 22, might be 24, and I apologize. I'm not an expert yet. I'm in the process of becoming knowledgeable. But the process, starts with the Fool, and I think the end is the World. Again, don't quote me on that. I haven't gotten that far yet. I've only gotten up like to card 8 of the bunch. Um, you know, Fool, Magician, High Priestess, da 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 da. Okay. And what's interesting to me is it talks about the divine feminine and divine masculine, and it doesn't necessarily mean masculine is male, feminine is female. That's a topic for another video, and then probably countless books and whatever you believe it is. But the idea is, as the major arcana is a description of a person, a soul, as it goes through an experience, a cycle. We all start off as fools. We're new to it. We're new to the idea, and then we get experience, and we go along this journey. If this is what it's cracked up to be. Again, whatever you bring to it, what you believe in it or not. But what I keep coming back to so far in this, looking at the major arcana, is there's a hell of a lot of sexuality in it, and maybe not sexuality as far as having sex, but again, this idea of a divine masculine or masculine energy and a feminine energy, if you believe in such binary concepts. Um, but let's assume for the moment that there is. Okay, let's assume for the moment. And how it comes up in this channel is I was reading someone on Facebook, and they were kind of the impression that if you were a trans woman, you're attracted to women because you want to be a woman. And if you're a trans man, you're attracted to men because you want to be a man. You are a man. Trans woman, you are a woman. You're attracted to women. And it was sort of like a really novel concept to them. The idea that, no, as there is a gender spectrum, there is an attraction spectrum, and then if you don't believe in a binary or you don't consider yourself binary, there's a whole other spectrum. I mean, this is 3D chess, maybe 5D chess or 6D chess. It's not as simple as just saying, oh, I'm a trans woman, therefore I'm attracted to women. But this same person had said something about, and the reason why they thought that was because they said that, and maybe I should preface this by saying that your mileage may vary, my mileage may vary. This is something that is going to be individual to each of us and our own sense of self and what we want or how we feel. Again, there's no right or wrong. Everyone's different. Might be some people feel the same way, da 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 da. But her idea was that to be a trans woman, she was rejecting everything about her that was masculine. She was rejecting everything about her that was male. Which, was she talking sexually? Was she talking anatomically, like a penis? I'd have to ask her. But, if there is any truth to the idea of there being, and I keep saying the divine feminine, the divine masculine is a big concept. Okay. If, let's say, the way she was thinking, you're only seeing the world and the universe. If you have a masculine eye and a feminine eye, let's say, part of your personality or whatnot, you're only seeing half of the universe, right? And the idea that I've seen throughout the tarot decks, I've got a generic tarot deck. I've got looking at the famous Crowley Thoth deck. We're looking at the Raider White deck. I'm looking at. I've got 3 other decks I'm looking at. One's more druidy, one's more witchy. But in all of them, it talks about in alchemy, the divine, the union, the great rite, which of course in Wicca, a high priest and a high priestess having sex, or the union of the masculine and the feminine, which you say, okay, that's sexually related, but take that one step higher. Well, it's the union of the masculine and the feminine, balancing out. And so maybe in my own transition, I felt like I aspire for the feminine because I have the masculine, the body, the mindset, and maybe I'm aspiring to be feminine. But to be a whole person, if this psychology, if this tarot is accurate, the union of the masculine and feminine, then I really can't 86 everything masculine about me. Or if I was a trans man, I couldn't 86 all that was feminine about me. And in cis world, we talk about a gentleman. Gentleman is very polite. A lot of things that maybe we would say is they're very effeminate to a certain degree. Passive, compassion, empathy, cooperation, rather than brute force, my way or the highway. Okay, and I apologize for this being such a binary one or the other. Or you talk about a very assertive woman, some masculine, stereotypically masculine things. And so it just kind of, it made me go, for my own transition and maybe for your transition, where you are or where you're headed or what you're thinking about. It's kind of coming to terms with that, you're finding a new balance. It's like we transition, we go through the process and we say, okay, and I apologize, I'm going to, from my own point of view, I'm going to do away with all the masculine stuff I did. I did a lot of hyper masculine stuff to throw off the scent and to keep myself in transitioning. I did all this hyper masculine stuff. So I'm going to put it away. I'm going to toss it away. I'm not going to do it anymore. How realistic is that? And that's not to say, okay, I'm, going to go tomorrow and join the military or buy a gun or go kill something, I killed a deer, drink its blood, hunt stereotypical masculine things. But the things that are somewhat aggressive or dominating or control, power, what we would think of as somewhat masculine, in the same way that we have feminine things. Compassion, looking within, working with nature, as opposed to brute force, brute strength, my way or the highway. Probably a lot of negative things by our society right now. It used to be, hell, it was outdated when I was younger in the 70s. But, the idea of, a true man, true man, if you get bit by a snake, arr, bite down on my belt while I suck the venom out, arr. John Wayne, really tough guy, masculine, who we think of. And, but back to the idea of inclusion. I want to say inclusion and diversity within ourselves. That is it okay to have those qualities? Initially we're like, I'm a girl. I'm gonna wear makeup and dresses and do things that I always wanted to do that I couldn't because of before. And that pendulum kind of swings the other way, hyper femininity, and then we kind of go back into our own sense of balance. I don't know. Maybe it's a well duh thing. I don't know, but it amazes me. This tarot is from the Renaissance. And I apologize. I don't know the year. I could look at my notes. I'm going to say 1750. I'm going to pick a number out of the, the mid 1600s, or mid 1700s. I'm sorry, I get my centuries mixed up. Here people were dealing with the idea of, to be a fully realized person, you have to embrace. If you're a man, you have to embrace your inner feminine side. And if you're a woman, you have to embrace your inner masculine side. And of course, as transgender people, that's what we want to do. We want to, let it flow. Like I said, in my case, as a trans woman, I want to let that feminine energy just flow. It's a lot easier with hormones. I'll be honest with you. Again, you know my story. I've not had hormones in 10 months. But you have that energy that I'm connected to the universe, and I can only imagine for the reverse, for the trans man, it's that sense of power and empowerment, testosterone, strength. So, anyway, I just thought I would record it. I thought it was kind of interesting. It may be a bunch of shit. I could be totally talking out of my ass, and you could say, Robin, what the hell are you talking about? But it just interested me. It interested me. A lot of symbolism too, obviously, in the cards. If there's a cup, it's a vagina. If there's a wand, it's a penis. I mean, just there's that too. And again, as you go back to Wicca, um, having a chalice and a theme, I'm sorry, a theme, ATHME, a little ritual dagger, and you're sticking the dagger into the cup, guess what you're doing? Yeah, the divine union, the great rite. But again, from alchemy, to put the masculine and the feminine together and to come to some sort of union, we talk about meeting someone, our soulmate. You complete me. What was the line from Jerry Maguire, right? You complete me. And instead of relying on someone else to complete you, here you are within yourself, and you are completing you with the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So anyway, take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, could totally be bullshit. But I'm not alone in thinking that way. Keep coming back to Carl Jung. I'm going to have to read a book about him. Swedish psychologist who came up with the idea of archetypes and the anima and the animus. Same thing. For a man to become realized, has to embrace his inner woman. For a woman to become realized, she has to embrace her inner man. Same thing. So I'm not the first to kind of come up with this crazy theory, but it's interesting to me how, like I said, these decks. We're going to case 1750 as the date. Easily, what is that? 350 years. Some not necessarily transgender, but that idea of accepting and exploring, maybe. Alright, that's it for my video. I wish the best of luck to you in becoming your authentic self. Good luck to you and in your pursuits, and we will keep on trucking. Lately I felt the need to just do something, and that's where this research project kind of came up. The druid part of it obviously comes from my religion, which is I'm a druid, but it's interesting to see people come at it from different angles. Probably like I said, a non-religious person would look at the tarot much like a not a Ouija board, I guess a Ouija board, but if you're coming at it, if you're a witch and you're coming at it from Wicca, it's showing things that are tied into your religion in the same way that my druid deck over there is all druid stuff. Like I said, it just fascinates me. I guess it's gone from an interest to a hobby. Interests are free, hobbies cost money. But anyway, till next time, good luck to you in your journey. I wish the best of luck for you. Bye bye. Take care.